Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today my group will be present about variable impacting dividend payout. This is my group members Iffah Nazurah, Iffah Nafilah, Monica, Nur Fajrinabillah and me myself Nursyahirah Halwa. We will review the findings of the analysis of determining dividend payout among Islamic and conventional bank in Malaysia from 2016 to 2020 using data and EBW software. The table shows the number of observations obtained from the research period of 5 years using annual financial report from 5 Islamic banks with a total is 25. As you can see here, the lowest value of DBR is 0.0775 and highest DBR value is 4.2499. The lowest ROA value is 0.0043. The average ROA is 0.0091. The lowest leverage is 0.8160. The highest leverage value is 0.9332. The lowest leg dividend value is 0.0939. The highest leg dividend value is 4.2499. The lowest value of growth is negative 0.2150. The highest growth is 0.2806. Table shows the result of a 5-year period provided 25 observations which include annual financial statement from 5 conventional banks as a sample. As you can see here, the lowest value of DBR is 0.2237 and highest DBR value is 0.9012. Second, the lowest ROA value is 0.0004, the highest is 0.0684. The lowest leverage is 0.3027, the highest value is 0.9106. The lowest leg dividend value is 0.2267 and the highest value is 0.8707. The lowest value of growth is negative 0.3685 and the highest is 0.5370. Table shows the Pearson correlation coefficients for Islamic Bank for the years 2016 to 2020. The variable ROA to DBR has a moderate negative correlations, and the variable leverage to DBR has a value of 0.006051, indicating a weak or no correlations. Next, the variable leg dividend to DBR is 0.786456, indicating a significant positive correlation between the two variables. If leg dividend increases, DBR will increase as well. The last variable, which is growth to DBR, has a weak negative correlation of negative 0.275895. Next, the table shows the Pearson correlation coefficient for conventional banks for the years 2016 to 2020. The result shows that the variables ROA to DBR and the average to DBR are negative 0.086699 and negative 0.013710 relatively. It shows the independent variable to dependent variable have a weak correlation. Next, the variable leg dividend to DBR shows a value of 0.786906, which is close to positive 1. Its mean leg dividend to DBR has a positive moderate correlation. The variable growth to DBR has a no correlation, which is 0.089959. Next, the table shows the result of the random effect and fixed effect model on factors that affect dividend policy for Islamic banks and conventional banks. The Houseman test is a statistical test to select whether the most appropriate fixed effect model or random effect model is used. The results show p-value is 0.1652, which is greater than 0.05, shows that the random effect model is more appropriate for Islamic bank. Then, the result of the p-value is less than 0.05 found that the fixed effect model is most appropriate for conventional bank.
Next, the explanation of dynastic test. So, for the normality test, Islamic banks is 0.040615, which is less than 5%, means reject the null hypothesis. It shows that Jar-Bear test is significant, while for conventional banks, is 0.688818, which is more than 5%, means do not reject the null hypothesis. This shows that Jar-Bear test is insignificant. Next, multi-collinearity. Islamic banks is 3.23, while conventional banks is 9.89. This study used the variance inflation factor, which is VIF, to calculate the existence of multi-collinearity. So, according to the rule of VIF, it shows that more than 10 indicate there is multi-collinearity problem. So the table shows both Islamic banks and conventional bank is less than 10, which means there is no multi-collinearity and the null hypothesis is not rejected. This table shows the heteroscedasticity for Islamic bank, which is more than 0.05, and not reject the null hypothesis at the 5% significant level, which means there is a homoscedasticity problem. And for conventional bank is less than 0.05, which is reject the null hypothesis at the 5% significant level, and there is a heteroscedasticity. Last but not least is autocorrelation. For Islamic bank, it is 0.0842, which is greater than 0.05. So the null hypothesis is not rejected at 5% significant level, and there is no autocorrelation. While for conventional banks is 0.0427, which is smaller than 0.05, and the null hypothesis has been rejected at the 5% significant level, and there is autocorrelation.
Next is regression result for conventional bank. First, revenue growth and net dividend. Both of these variables have an insignificant relationship with dividend payout. The findings of this study reveal that revenue growth and net dividend have no influence on dividend policy, since the major company may raise cash internally through retained earnings. This can reduce the requirement for debt and allowing the company to be less concerned with revenue growth. However, based on the finding, the previous year dividend payout has no impact on today's dividend policy. The finding is strongly supported with the previous study whereby they found that growth and net dividend have no significant impact on dividend policy. Next is profitability have a positively significant toward dividend payout at a 10% significant level. The higher the company's profit, the higher the dividend payout because the company can make more profit. This finding is also consistent with the signaling theory, which states that when a company makes a higher profit, the dividend payout is increased. This research is in line with research conducted by Atmaja in 2019 and Sulhan and Harliana in 2019, which state that profitability have positively significant effect on dividend policy. Last, leverage has a negatively significant relationship with dividend payout at 1% significant level. This result indicates that firms with the ability to pay more dividend as leverage decrease. This is consistent with the signaling theory. The lower the leverage level will be a good signal from the company to investor. Agency theory indicates that high leverage will cause shareholders to receive more information from creditors about the company's ability to pay his obligation. This research is in line with previous research which states that leverage have negatively significant effect on dividend policy.
Now we proceed to results of Islamic banks. First, profitability and leverage have a significant relationship with dividend payout. The negative relationship between profitability and dividend payout demonstrates that companies are preferred to pay lower dividends when their profitability increases. However, the insignificant relationship with the dividend payout ratio expresses that managers are not significantly influenced by these two factors when making dividend decisions. The finding is consistent with the previous research whereby they found that profitability and leverage have no significant effect on dividend payout. Second, lag dividend have a positively significant with the dividend payout at 1% significant level. This shows that the managers and shareholders may expect higher dividend payout if the previous year's dividend was stable. The results also support the agency theory as it indicates that last year's dividend payouts are also a great consideration to the agency problem. The positive relationships also support the signal theory which states that dividend payments fluctuate as a signal to shareholders about a company's present performance. Similar results were expressed by this previous research which is lag dividend have a significant effect on dividend payout. Last, revenue growth have a negatively significant relationship with dividend payout at 5% significant level. This result shows that the company with high growth tend to pay low dividends because they are interested in financing the investments with their internal funds. Hence, this is supported by signaling theory, which a reduction or no payouts may send a negative signal to investors, resulting in a drastic decline in stock price. Furthermore, since growth banks require more capital to finance their expansion, they normally keep a large percentage of their profits by paying low dividends. This is in line with research conducted by Hussein in 2016 and Tanatawi in 2011, which is revenue growth has a significant effect on dividend payout.
Limitations and recommendations. There is still space for improvement and future research to be implemented to contribute more information on the factor of dividend payout ratio in Malaysia. Examining more variables can also assist future research in providing a clearer insight into the factor that influence dividend payouts in Malaysia. This study focused primarily on Malaysia's top 5 Islamic and non-Islamic banks that always pay dividend during the observation period, implying that the study findings may only be applicable to major companies that pay dividends. The researcher also recommended that future research should consider gathering more sample and observation years. For summary, the findings indicate that profitability and financial leverage of non-Islamic banks have significant with dividend payout, whereas slack dividend and revenue growth have not been found among the 4 non-Islamic banks. Meanwhile, the lack dividend and revenue growth of Islamic banks so significant with the dividend payout, while profitability and financial leverage have no significant impact on the dividend policy. The results are supported by signaling theory where the dividend payment depends on the information received by the manager regarding the performance of the company. The result also support agency theory because shareholders might use the dividend policy to reduce agency expenses. Thank you.